Hi guys, it's Mrs. Doble coming at you from my office today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about valve maintenance. I'm working with the trumpet today, but the skills that I'm talking about can be used with trombone slides and baritones and tubas, French horns, all this good stuff. So we're going to start with the most common maintenance that you need to perform on valve instruments, which is valve oiling. These guys right here. Okay, if you can listen. My valves are making a lot of noise, and sometimes if yours are making a lot of noise or are feeling sticky, like they don't want to move, that's often a sign that they need some oil. And you want to oil your valves a few times a month, maybe 3-4 times a month. Once a week is good. I'm going to be using Alcast classic valve oil today, but you might have some that's different, and that's fine. Okay. What you're going to do is I'm going to take my first valve out. That's the one that's closest to the lead pipe where your mouthpiece would go over here. And as far as when you're in 5th grade, you don't want to take all your valves out at the same time. Maybe just take one out at a time, and that way you don't get them confused, because some trumpets have them marked, but some trumpets don't. And trombones, tubas, sorry, not trombone valves, but baritone, tuba valves, they have them marked or they might not. And so you don't want to get them confused, because then it's a hard process to get them back in the right valve casings. So what I'm doing is I just unscrew the top of this valve casing, and then I'm going to take that valve out. Okay, mine's really, really dry. And we're going to take a little bit of that valve oil. Now, do not, I repeat, do not do this over your mother's nice carpeting. Okay, find a garbage can or a sink to do this over, and because these valve oil stains can be hard to get out. So I'm going to take my valve here, and I'm just going to put a few droplets all over this part that's silver with the holes in it. Okay, so it's nice and oily, and again, you're going to have some oil dripping off of there, so you don't want to do this over nice carpeting or nice floors. Garbage can or sink only. Okay, then I'm going to take that, drop it back in the valve casing, and as you take a hold of this top part here, if you turn it around, you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. Sometimes you can hear a little click. Do you hear that? That means that it's in the right spot, because there's a little guide in there that tells you that it's in the right spot. So once you hear it click, then you take the part on the top here and turn it clockwise until it's tight again. And then your oil should be good and ready to go. Okay, so that's valve oiling, and like I said, once a week or once every 2 weeks, it's good to get a little bit of oil in there. The next thing we're going to talk about is tuning slide grease, and that only has to be done a few times a year. You don't have to do that very often, but that stuff comes in a little pot like this, and it's a lot greasier. Okay, it's very sticky, and so you're going to use this on what we call your tuning slides. If you turn your trumpet around, you have this big slide with the water key on it. Mine's a little stuck. Here we go, and it pulls out just like that. Okay, you've got some other slides on here on your trumpet, like this one with the U-shaped. You don't want to use your grease on there. That one you want to move easily, so you want to put some oil on there. And this one with the other ring, again, use oil on those. So I would take my oil here, put a little in there, and those you want to really slide easily. But this big one here, that one, you don't want that sliding around. So what you would do is you kind of pull it out like this, and you're going to take a little bit of your tuning slide grease, put it on your finger, and really it doesn't need a whole lot. Okay, a little bit goes a long way here. See, I'm just kind of getting enough on my finger that you can just barely see it. And then you take your finger and you just kind of rub it all around that slide. Okay, a little bit more. Do the other side. And this will help keep those slides from getting stuck in your trumpet eventually. Now, if you use too much, it's going to start coming out here at the end when you push it back in. So you would have to take a towel and get the excess off. But it looks like I used just the right amount, so I don't have any extra there. Okay, and you can use that slide grease as well on this little tiny guy right here. It just comes out of there, and that needs a little bit right on there, just so that it doesn't ever get stuck in there. Okay, put that right back on there. So, oil on the valves and the 2 slides that have the keys. Okay, grease on the little guy and on your main tuning slide. And that is it for care and maintenance of your valve instruments. We'll see you next time, guys.